Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.
What's up, guys? Volt here, bringing you a brand new Fast and Furious car remake. In today's remake, I am bringing the 1996 Acura Integra GSR, driven by Edwin in the Fast and the Furious. Now, this car was requested by a lot of people. I also put a light goal on Danny Amato's Honda Civic build that I will definitely show on screen right now or a little bit beforehand. I also did a little thank you video a little bit before this, and I just want to say thank you again. Thank you so much for all the support, guys, on the video, actually getting the likes up past the goal that I set and everything, and it just shows that you guys are really supportive of the channel and of me in general. So thank you so much again. I mean, you guys are awesome. I can't say thank you enough. And I mean, a deal's a deal. You guys got it up, and here it is, the build for Edwin's Integra. So I have to say that this car turned out beautifully. I've had this car built for a while. I just kind of went over it with a fine-tooth comb and changed a few things on it that I didn't notice before, or I actually talked to Bad Sport a little bit about, and a few other people as well. I also looked at a few builds, and I have to say that I am actually happy with how this turned out and how it actually came to be. I also did look at Craig Lieberman's video as well. I will put a link down in the description below if you guys can check out the real-life build of the actual car and everything that was in the movie. Again, thank you very much for everything, guys, and let's just get into it. So we're going to start off with the base price. You want to go to the internet. We're going up here to the Travel and Transport website. You want to go down to the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website. You want to go over here to the two-door option. Then you want to go down and you want to find yourself the Karin Sultan Classic, part of Los Santos Tuners Update. Now, if you do not have the trade price like I do, you're going to be paying a whopping $1,789,000. So I'll put that right there for you guys. But if you do have the trade price like I do, which I believe you just unlock it by actually leveling up in the car meet. Now, you unlock certain things every 5 levels in the car meet, and with the new update coming, they're actually going to be releasing an easier way to level up, or like increasing the reputation that you get for the car meet. But I believe for level 1 that you get in the car meet, you actually unlock the Karin Sultan RS Classic. I could be wrong on that, but if you do actually get the trade price, you're going to be paying a whopping $1,341,750, which is a very odd number to give out, but it is what the actual trade price is. So anyways, once you have your car and you have your color, meet us at the Los Santos car meet location, as you can see here. I know a lot of people will complain that this is probably based on an Impreza / WRX or Subaru, but it is about the closest thing we can get with a kind of working livery for this car. I think it turned out, I mean, the best I can anyways. I mean, there aren't really any other cars we can actually use for his build, so this is about the closest thing you can get. Maybe with the next coming DLC, we'll get an Acura in general, so I guess we'll see. But anyways, let's get in and customize the beauty. So as you pull in the Karin Sultan RS Classics in the sports category, self-explanatory, it does look like a sports car, so that does make pretty much perfect sense. As I go over all my builds, I go over the overall look, the visual appearance, and the basic design, the car and how it's portrayed in the movie, game, or anywhere else in general itself. Anything I don't go over is completely up to you. I just put a few staples in on my build. If you want to recreate my build or take some things away from my build to build your own, you're more than welcome to. Without further ado, let's get into the build. So to start things off, you want to go to bumpers, you want to go to the front bumper, and you want to keep the stock bumper. Now, it did have a kind of like small kind of frame on the front bumper area, but it didn't have this big giant grille. But sadly, we do want those lights on the bottom there because they do add a little bit more definition to the car, and it actually bases it a little bit closer to the real life build as well, because it did have fog lights. You don't want something like this or anything really changing all that much. You definitely want it to be looking a little bit more stock than anything, so definitely just go with the stock front bumper there. After that, move on to the rear bumpers. I went with the GT bumper. This is about the closest thing you can get for the real life car build bumper in the back end. The main reason I say this is because it has like these kind of like vents or kind of like mesh area in the back, like in the middle of the bumper, and that's how the real life car was too. Now, I do know it does kind of curve the plate out, but I mean, it's kind of a small price to pay in order to get the actual kind of look for the actual build we're going for. So the GT bumper is the best option in my personal opinion. After that, move on to the engine. You want to go to engine block. You want to go with a stock engine. It did have a nice kind of red looking engine, so I definitely would go with the stock engine with like that. After that, move on to the cam cover. You want to go with the red exposed veneer pulleys. It did have these kind of red pulleys that were exposed. You can kind of see the front there too. It just kind of matched all together. Mainly the most of the car was like, I would say, black, red, white, and yellow. After that, move on to the strut brace. I went with the basic strut brace because I didn't see a strut brace on the car, and I didn't see that it actually had one in the movie anywhere because we didn't really actually see what was underneath the hood. This is just actual video proof from Craig Lieberman's video. So I would just honestly go with the basic strut brace. I think it's the best option there. Just kind of save money where you can. After that, move on to the exhaust. I went with the chrome big bore exhaust. It did have a decent size exhaust on it, and I would say the chrome big bore exhaust is the better option. It was a decent sized exhaust. It wasn't anything kind of small like this. That's why I didn't go for the performance exhaust. I feel like it's a little bit too small. I feel like the bigger exhaust is a lot better of an option, and it just fits better for the build. After that, move on to the headlight covers. I went with the stock headlight covers. You want to keep this stock because you do want to be able to see those lights. Otherwise, it's going to cover the lights up. Now, a little quick tip. If you do this on any kind of build, it actually doesn't tint the actual lights from the actual glass being tinted. So that's a nice little feature. For this build, we don't need the glass actually be tinted. So I would honestly just go with stock and save the money where you can. After that, move on to the headlights. You want to go with the primary housing. It starts out with like a black kind of look to it as you go with the stock. The outside of the actual lights and like mostly the front of the car and everything, there wasn't too much like black carbon or any kind of like plastic type look around it. So I honestly go with the primary housing, get that red look around the lights and kind of like make it look closer to the actual build. So the red primary housing is the best option in my personal opinion there. After that, move on to the hood. You want to go to hood catches. I didn't see any hood catches on the car, so honestly, I wouldn't add one or change anything on that. After that, move on to the hood itself. I would just go with a stock hood. It was a decently nice, smooth hood, and there's not really anything special that we needed on it. It was just, again, smooth hood. It did have a nice kind of like logo / like livery design on the front, like a vinyl design, so I would honestly just go with the stock option there. After that, move on to the interior. You want to go to the dash, and you want to keep the stock dash. It was pretty much stock, I would say, other than like a few things like racing pedals, like a racing seats and racing steering wheel and everything. But I mean, for the most part, it wasn't stripped down. It didn't have this big giant e-brake pulley right there, as you can see. So honestly, I would just go with the stock dash. After that, move on to the dials. I went with the pod mounted tacho gauge. Now, the main reason I went for this is because on this left corner, like by the driver's side window, it actually had gauges right there of some sort. Unfortunately, we can't get that in GTA Online. So the next best thing I think to go for is the pod mounted tacho gauge. Kind of get those gauges, but I mean, I know they're not on the side, but at least they're there somewhat. Honestly, I would just go with the pod mounted tacho gauge. I think it's the best option there. After that, move on to the doors. You just want to keep them stock. You didn't change the doors at all, so definitely keep them stock. And last in the interior is the roll cage. You just want to go with no roll cage. Didn't have no roll cage that I noticed. I didn't see one, and if I do notice one, I will definitely change it in the top pin comment. But as of right now, I didn't see no roll cage, so yeah, just go with no roll cage. After that, move on to the lights. You want to go to headlights. You just want to keep them stock. You want to get that nice old style looking lights to it, which again, I wish we could buy these normally, but unfortunately we can't. After that, move on to the neon kits. You want to go to neon layout. It's going to be front, back, and sides. And for the neon color, which we're going to go to next, you want to go with a nice yellow. The car was mainly red. It had yellow livery on the sides, like the yellow like vinyls and all that. I would say most of the sponsors and everything were yellow as well. Kind of how I think Rockstar kind of got the inspiration for this livery. And then you just want to go with a nice yellow neon underneath as well. So just kind of accents it and makes it even more better. After that, move on to the livery itself. You want to go with the Karin Performance livery. I figure this is the best option. I know this is probably based more or so around the option of a like Subaru WRX type rally build, but it does fit nicely for this build as well, and it actually does. I think it works probably the best out of most other builds that I've seen online and on YouTube. So I'd definitely go with the Karin Performance livery, best option there. After that, move on to the plate. You want to go with a blue and white 2, which is the best representation of a California style plate. And the custom plate you want to go for is 3XZO536. Again, that is 3XZO536. Now, this is the custom plate that is actually on the car and in the movie and everything. Custom plate creator will be down in the description below for you guys, so you can check that out. It's also on the social club, so you guys can make it on there. If you want to just find it on there yourself, go for it. But I will, again, link down in the description below for you guys to make it easier for you. And yeah, moving on from that, best option right there, blue and white 2, custom plate again, and we're done. Saving respray for last, we move on to the roof. You want to go with the stock roof. It had a nice stock roof. It wasn't colored, coded, or sticker bomb. Definitely not sticker bomb, and it definitely wasn't carbon. So I definitely just stick with the stock roof. You're just gonna be spending more money if you do the secondary roof. So yeah, just stick with the stock roof. After that, move on to the roof accessories. You just want to go with the stock antenna. Best option there, because I mean it doesn't really do anything else other than make the livery go a little bit more further back. All the other ones kind of cut it off, and it also puts a kind of like roof scoop on there, which we don't want. So honestly, just go with the stock antenna. After that, move on to the skirts. You want to go with the street skirts. Best option there because it kind of, again, represents a like street racing car type deal. And it actually does look really close to the actual real life skirts that were on the car. So they kind of jut out and have a little bit more depth going down. So yeah, I would definitely go with the street skirts there. After that, move on to the sun strips. You want to go with none. Didn't have no sun strip that I seen, so definitely wouldn't add one on there. After that, move on to the spoiler. You want to go with the stock spoiler. Now, this is the best option in my personal opinion. It's pretty much the exact spoiler that was on the car, and it does look really, really close, or if not, almost exact like the one from the actual movie and everything. So I would definitely go with the stock spoiler. The sad thing is, even though it is a stock spoiler, it doesn't give a traction bonus. All the other ones actually give you a traction bonus. It'd be nice if even if it had a stock spoiler or some kind of spoiler on it at all, instead of being just nothing on there, it would actually add a traction bonus, but that is not the case for Rockstar. So I would honestly just go with the stock spoiler, best option there. After that, move on to the suspension. I went with a lower suspension. The main reason for this is it was lowered a little bit, and the jump on the suspension on the Karin Sultan RS Classic is quite a bit. As you can see, it goes all the way down to a camber. Now I would say you could go with not as much as a street suspension, but it does camber out the wheels a little bit, as you can see there, and I feel it lowers it way too much in the back and almost even in the front. That's why I went for just a lowered. I feel like stock is a little bit too high. It's more like off-roadish type rally build maybe, so I figure going with a lowered is a better option just altogether, and it doesn't camber out the wheels too noticeably. So I say lowered suspension, best option there. After that, move on to the trunk. You want to go with the stock trunk. Didn't have no colored or any kind of like sticker bomb trunk, so definitely go with the stock trunk there. After that, move on to the turbo. Now, people might get a little mad about this, but on the real life car and actually in the movie, you can't even hear a turbo going off, and it actually didn't have a turbo or even a nitrous system in the car. So it wasn't set up that way. It definitely didn't have all that. It had a little bit of engine mods to it, but not too much. So honestly, I would just go with none. I know it doesn't get the performance that it probably should, even if you would actually add a turbo to it, but I would just definitely honestly go with none if you want to keep it to the realistic build. After that, you want to go to wheels. You want to go to wheel type. You want to go down here to the track category, and you want to go with the split star rim. Now, these rims are, I think, fit the best. Now, I will say that they're not 100% perfect. The kind of like middle gap in between each spoke should be white, and they should be kind of more flush and not sunken into the actual rim, like the actual wheel. They're not the greatest, but I still think they fit the best because they have the same kind of style design to them as well. So the split star on the track category is the best option there for me. After that, move on to the wheel color. You want to go with a nice frost white. His rims are actually white. They weren't actually chrome, so that's kind of crazy there. So yeah, definitely go with the frost white there. After that, move on to the tires. You want to go to tire design. You just want to keep the stock tires on there because it didn't have any tire text on there. It did have text on the rims, but unfortunately we can't get that. So I would just honestly go with the stock tires. After that, move on to the tire enhancements. You can go with bulletproof tires if you wish. It is GT Online. It's completely your call. But me personally, to keep it more realistic to the build and actual one from the movie, I would go with the standard tires. Definitely wasn't drifting, so I wouldn't add low grips. So either standard or bulletproof, your choice. After that, move on to the tire smoke. Go with the white tire smoke. I don't see a point in changing this. After that, move on to the windows. You want to go with a nice dark smoke. Now, I think dark smoke works the best for the kind of like street racing car build that we're going for, especially Edwin's Integra. But I can see if you want to go with a light smoke. I don't think it had none. I definitely think it had some kind of tint to it. Might have more tint on the back than the front windows, but we can't actually do that in GTA Online, so it's just tints either all of them or none of them. So I would either go with either a light smoke or at most a dark smoke. I was thinking a limo, but it's just too dark, and it definitely wasn't that dark on the real life car and in the movie. So I would either go with a dark smoke at most, or at the least a light smoke. So choose which one you want, and we'll move on from there. After that, move on to the window spoilers. You want to go none. I think it fits the best because there's no roof blips or any kind of like, ducktails or anything kind of like wings on the back of the like window. So just definitely go with none there. All right, and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds with a rolled steel primer color. All right, and we're back. As you can see, I have my car and my primer out rolled steel. Pretty much what I always do for all my builds. That way you know what colors I'm going to be doing for the build. This time it's just going to be an LSC color, guys. I don't really see a point in making a custom crew color. It wasn't anything special. It was just painted pretty much red. And that's what we're going to go for. So you want to go to classics. You want to go down to the reds. And you just want to put on the classic red. Just like that. I didn't go for a Torino red because it wasn't that vibrant of a red, and I don't think it fits really well for the build. I figure it's a little bit more dark red, not too dark of a red, but a little bit more dark red than you would think. So I went with just a regular red. I think it fits really well for the build, and I think it fits really well for what we're trying to create here. After that, move on to the secondary color. You want to go into the classics. You want to go down to the reds, and you just want to apply the red. It's going to change the mirrors. That's definitely what you want to do, and that'll just kind of complete the overall outside look of the car. After that, move on to the trim color. You want to go with a red trim color. Now, unfortunately, we can't get the racing Momo seats and steering wheel and everything on this car because it wasn't too much customization for the Sultan RS Classic build, so that's kind of sad. I would definitely go with a red interior as well to kind of match the outside because it did have red and yellow seats. So red is the best option in my personal opinion there. After that, move on to the accent color. I went with an ice white. It did have nice white kind of like dials, and it just kind of makes it stick out a little bit more. So I think ice white is the better option to have on that. And yeah, guys, that's it. That's how you recreate the 1996 Acura Integra GSR driven by Edwin in the Fast and the Furious. I mean, this is about the closest thing I can come up with for the build. It's got the livery, it's got the color, it's got the rims, it's got the kind of same kind of body style look to it to an extent. But I mean, it's not the overall greatest, but it's what I came up with and it's what I think looks the best. Let's go back to our parking spot. We'll go outside. All right, now that we're outside, I'll do a little spin for you guys at night because, you know, it's the street racing hour, I guess you could say. The nice yellow neon popping through, as well as the window tint, which is, I don't think, too dark. It could be maybe a little lighter. Maybe light smoke is the best way to go. I'm not sure. In my opinion, it doesn't look the best, but I mean, I think dark smoke looks better. Yeah, this is the car at night, and I'll do a little transition into the day for you guys. All right, now that's daytime. We're going to do a little spin for you guys again. As you can see, car in all its glory. Looks relatively the same depending on the light or nighttime. And that's pretty much it. So let's go for a drive, as always. I will say it does handle pretty nicely. I wouldn't lower it because it does have the lower option in the interaction menu with the vehicles, since it is a tuner's vehicle. But I mean, overall, I'm happy with how the build turned out. I wish we had a better car in-game to actually work for this, but unfortunately we don't. It's always going to rain whenever I'm doing my videos. That's always nice. Most of the time it stops when I'm driving around, but I guess not now. So yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down in the comment section down below for what build you'd like to see next. I'll definitely get back to you guys. I love responding back to you guys down there in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about the build, and also if you guys want any custom crew colors, feel free to let me know. I would be more than happy to change it for you. I just ask for two things. One, when you use the custom crew color, you let me know what you think about it, because the videos just don't do the custom crew colors justice. But when you see them on your actual car in game, they do just make it pop so much more. And two, when you're actually done with the custom crew color, let me know so I can keep the color train moving for everyone else and actually make everyone else happy as well. Because it's not just about you, but it's about a family as a whole, guys. Links down in the description below for Twitter, Discord, and the crew. Free to join, free to leave anytime you wish. You're not locked into it like a contract. But with all that being said, guys, hope you guys have a great day/night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the love and support, as always. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. I'll catch you guys later, and I'm out. Peace.